In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on October 8, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Wisconsin versus Northwestern. The Northwestern Wildcats play host to the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday afternoon in a crucial Big Ten showdown from Ryan Field. Both teams seem to be quickly falling back in the conference race, and given the recent success of both, will be looking to turn things around in a hurry. For the Badgers, they've lost back-to-back games, including a shocking home loss to Illinois the last time out. For the Wildcats, they've lost 4 games in a row since their season-opening win, as they are in desperate need of snapping the skid. Wisconsin won last year's matchup with ease, but given their recent struggles, this could be a more challenging game than either team is anticipating. The Badgers are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 conference games and 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The Wildcats are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 home games and 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The over is 5-1 in Badgers' last 6 conference games. The under is 4-0 in Wildcats' last 4 games overall. The Badgers are 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 meetings in Northwestern and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. 2 struggling teams get together to face off on Saturday afternoon, when the Wisconsin Badgers head a few hours down the road to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. The Badgers are fresh off of firing previous head coach Paul Chryst in the midst of a 2-3 start to a season in which they have yet to defeat anyone of note. They were trounced last weekend at home by Illinois 34-10, and they have now gone back-to-back games with less than 300 yards of total offense. The defense has also allowed a 100-yard rusher in both conference games. Northwestern has been pretty bad itself, but at least looked respectable in a 10-point loss to Penn State in Week 6. It was the defense's second straight outing of allowing just 17 points, and the Wildcats again forced at least 1 turnover, something they have done in every game but one. It's entirely possible that the firing of Chryst lights a fire under this Wisconsin team. It's also entirely possible that this team is just not that good right now, and replacing Chryst for the interim, whose unit has looked absolutely awful the last couple times out, is not the saving grace. These teams' history between each other really sticks out, as Northwestern has covered in 9 of its last 10 games against Wisconsin when playing at home. The Cats have even won outright in 6 of the last 7 in that scenario. The Wisconsin Badgers are the more talented team and should be favored. The Northwestern Wildcats just aren't what they've been in past years, and playing at home hasn't helped much. However, Wisconsin has issues of its own, as the offense has issues finishing drives and the defense isn't nearly as good as it's been in the past. Northwestern did hang around with Penn State last week, and maybe that's a turning point in its season. The Wildcats aren't good, but the Badgers aren't that much better, to the point where they should be double-digit favorites in this matchup. So the Northwestern Wildcats to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Mertz continues to be inconsistent, and Helinski has thrown as many interceptions as he has touchdowns since Week 1. Both teams' defenses have also been solid. Northwestern held Penn State to 17 points last week, and their defense has been consistent for most of this year. Wisconsin's defense has also been strong in every game except against a very impressive Ohio State offense, and even last week the Badgers gave up just 304 yards to Illinois. The Badgers were giving up just 7 points a game through the first 3 games of the season before the Ohio State game. Both of these teams are desperate for a win, and each program has had issues with turnovers. We should see these schools both focused on running the ball on Saturday, and that should lead to the clock running most of the game. Neither of these teams will want to beat themselves, and both programs are likely to lean on their defense and running game to try and win without having to open their inconsistent offenses up. Wisconsin and Northwestern have both struggled to pass the ball, and neither offense is likely to light it up on Saturday. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Texas Tech versus Oklahoma State. This Saturday, the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Oklahoma State Cowboys will match up in the 6th week of the 2022 college football season. Kickoff will be inside Boone Pickens Stadium. We have two great offenses going head-to-head in this Big 12 battle, as I am expecting a show in this one. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are coming into this one after falling to Kansas State, 37-28. Texas Tech struggled on the defensive side of the field as they allowed the Wildcats to consistently move the ball up and down the field. They have to better against the pass if they want any hope of taking down the Cowboys on the road. Oklahoma State is entering this one after defeating the Baylor Bears, 36-25. The Cowboys' offense was humming as they continued to drive the ball down the field. They finished with 379 total yards as they will be looking for another great performance in this one. The Oklahoma State Cowboys play host to the Texas Tech Red Raiders in a Big 12 showdown on Saturday afternoon. The Red Raiders fell to 1-1 in conference play after last week's contest against Kansas State, in which they gave up 37 points on an astounding 343 rushing yards. Texas Tech has now allowed 3 separate 100-yard rushers in their last 2 games and has yet to hold an FBS offense under 27 points this season. The Cowboys, on the other hand, enter this matchup undefeated with extremely high aspirations. Up to number 7 in the AP poll, Oklahoma State has been led by some stellar play from their dual-threat quarterback Spencer Sanders. Through just 4 games, Sanders is completing his passes at a 66% rate and is now up to 1,282 combined yards between the air and ground, as well as accumulating 15 total touchdowns. The Red Raiders have been fairly one-dimensional this campaign, with the pass completely taking over their offense. With less than 113.6 yards of rushing per game coming into this one, this matchup definitely doesn't make things any easier, as the Oklahoma State defense ranks 35th in the nation in run defense. Oklahoma State has now covered 13 of their last 16 games overall, including a 6-1-1 record against the spread in their last 8 home games. Texas Tech has yet to cover on the road this season and seems to be a completely different squad away from home. So the Oklahoma State to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This total has ballooned since this line opened, as it began at 64 points and increased by 5.5 points right now heading into this game. Both offenses have been doing extremely well at getting into the end zone and not settling for field goals, as Texas Tech has scored 22 touchdowns as a team this year, while Oklahoma State has recorded 24 total touchdowns thus far. The kicking game is extremely important, as empty possessions would kill us here with this number, as the Cowboys are perfect kicking, as they are combined 4 of 4 on field goal attempts and 2-5 of 2-5 on extra point attempts, while the Red Raiders are 7 of 10 on field goal attempts, with all 20 extra point attempts being hit. Texas Tech is averaging 35 points per game, and the Cowboys' defense showed some holes in the last game. Oklahoma State does have one of the best defenses in college football, averaging 48 points per game, and they will run up the score. The over has hit in 7 of the last 10 games against one another. This is going to be a game where there is good quarterback play from both sides. I see this game being an old-fashioned shootout, as neither of these offenses is going to surrender. This total is simply too low. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Auburn versus Georgia. The Auburn Tigers take on the Georgia Bulldogs in Sanford Stadium. Georgia leads the all-time series 62-56-8. Georgia has won the last 5 matchups against Auburn. The Deep South's oldest rivalry dates all the way back to 1892. Auburn is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games overall, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games following an against the spread win, while the under is 10-2 in their last 12 road games. Georgia is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games and 21-7 against the spread in their last 28 games following an against the spread loss, while the under is 12-3-1 in their last 16 games overall. After how Georgia played last week, I think they are going to come and take out their frustrations on their rival Auburn. Georgia is on an entirely different planet as a team compared to Auburn, and these two teams have seen each other a ton over the years. Auburn has beaten them in 5 straight and clearly has the key to what works against Auburn. Auburn has made a quarterback change and has been going with the freshman Robbie Ashford. I think this Georgia defense is going to eat him alive, especially playing at home. This will be a test that Ashford has never faced before in his life, and I don't think he's going to be able to crack the Georgia defense. Tank Bigsby has not been as effective as he was thought to be, and Georgia has only allowed 89 yards per game on the ground. Auburn's defense has been good this season, but Georgia is averaging 521 yards of offense per game and 39 points. They will not be able to hang with Georgia if they remain near their average of only 22 points per game. Bennett is going to take care of the ball and make the right throws for Georgia. This screams Georgia blowout to me, so the Georgia Bulldogs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Georgia has not gone over a single total this entire season. All 5 games have gone under and Georgia is allowing an average of 10 points per game. This is one of the better defenses that we've ever seen in college football. Auburn's offense is not good and has a freshman quarterback. He's just about guaranteed to struggle against this defense, and I'd be surprised if they walked away from this one with more than 7 points. Georgia is going to go up big early, run the ball, chew the clock, and get out of here with their 6th win of the season. The Auburn offense doesn't have many game-breaker players and has now scored 17 or fewer points in 3 straight games. In addition, while Georgia will thrive offensively, Auburn relies on the defense and they have some playmakers that can limit the pass. Georgia doesn't run a fast offense. They average 71.8 plays per game, which ranks them 58th in the FBS offensive plays. They will take their time, and I can't see them posting a huge number. With that said, it will be Auburn's poor offense that brings this total under. The under is a convincing 4-0 to 1 in the Bulldogs' 5 games this season. I expect points to be at a premium for Auburn, as the Tigers are going to struggle to score, which will result in a lower scoring game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.